Most owners gravitate toward the future rewards of a successful exit when thinking about exit planning. Rewards such as achieving personal financial freedom and creating a business legacy. However, I have some good news. Exit planning is not merely an exercise in delayed gratification. You do not have to wait that long to see the benefits of your attention to this topic. Effective exit planning can create a better business today. Ultimately, a better business may provide you with more options in your exit planning, more flexibility, and more fun. Here's how. Sound exit planning requires a hard assessment of what your business needs to look like to fulfill your exit goals and what is needed to get it there. When building a business with the end in mind, it's not enough to just grow revenues or make more money each year. How you get there becomes as important as the results, because exit planning holds your business up to a brighter light. It forces you to consider not only what you and the business need today, but also what is needed in the future by you and by the business's future leaders. Taking action to meet those needs creates a potentially better business today. Let's consider a couple of examples of how exit planning for your future exit creates a better business today. Assume that we are speaking with an owner who wants to sell his business for the maximum value to a third party. Imagine it's the future, and this owner is actually meeting with a potential buyer. He is pleased to announce that revenues are up 25% over prior year. The buyer is likely to say, "Great, how did you do this?" The owner's answer will impact how much the buyer is willing to pay for that business. Assume the answer is something along these lines. "Well, most of the clients know me and have worked with me for a long time. Over the last few years, I have really focused on sales, so revenues are up." Hearing this answer, that buyer is probably reducing the price he or she is willing to pay for that business. Contrast the first hypothetical answer with this second possible answer. Well, our business development team, headed up by our bright young vice president of sales, has really established a competitive edge in core markets. Several years of effort are just starting to take off. That answer is probably increasing the business price with every passing minute. In both situations, sales were up 25%, yet the revenue increases were accomplished quite differently. In the first answer, results were tied to the owner's personal efforts. If that owner exited the business or just got tired of going on sales calls, it appears much of the revenue could be lost. The second answer unquestionably reveals a better business. That business will grow without its owner going on sales calls and has established competitive advantages that a buyer can build upon. Let's consider another example. Assume for a moment we are speaking with an owner who desires to sell the business to one or more top employees. Most business owners recognize the need to motivate and retain top talent. However, if an owner intends to sell the business to employees, motivating and retaining them becomes far more important. Let's give two hypothetical situations for how this owner might approach the issue. The first is, my top people are truly loyal to me. They trust that I will take care of them and treat them fairly. As for motivating them, I pay cash bonuses based upon how well I feel everybody did. Contrast the first hypothetical answer with this approach. While I have great relationships with my top employees, I feel that is not enough in today's competitive marketplace. Several years ago, I developed a phantom stock program that ties their rewards to key business results. If the employees quit, they forfeit the phantom stock. If they stay and buy my business, the phantom stock is convertible to cash to help fund the purchase from me. Both approaches accomplish some good. But in the first approach, motivating and retaining is based upon personal loyalty. How cohesive and effective will that management team be once the current owner is gone? The second approach has less risk, of key employees leaving early, and compensation is tied to measurable performance. Under the second approach, the owner also has begun to address the difficult issue of how the employees are going to afford his buyout. The reality is, a business prepared for the owner's exit is a better business. When owners realize this, often they say something like, "If my business ran that well, I would not want to leave it." My answer is, exactly. If you want to leave your business, then something may be wrong. That's not the ideal time or manner to exit. The ideal business to exit is probably the one you most want to keep. A better business today creates more options for you, more flexibility in your exit planning, and is probably more fun.